What's stopping you from taking care of your health? We know you're busy. Now, wellness is in your hands. Just download Doxtro. Tap on Talk to Doctors, select the specialization, and type in your problems, and just click Consult. You're done. Sit back and relax. One of the best doctors will get in touch with you in minutes.